Jiddu Krishnamurti was born in 1895 in a small town in South India. He was a philosopher and spiritual teacher whose influence has crossed cultures and generations. His life and teachings continue to be a source of guidance for those who are looking to break free from the constraints of the mind. He is well known for his deep understanding of the human psyche and his challenge to conventional spiritual and social structures. Krishnamurti's early life was characterized by a lack of complexity. His life took a dramatic turn when he was adopted by the Theosophical Society, an organization that is dedicated to spiritual exploration. Prior to this, he had grown up in a typical family. Annie Besant and Charles Webster Leadbeater led the society in declaring Krishnamurti to be the world teacher, a spiritual figure who was prophesied to guide humanity. However, this prediction would not be a defining characteristic of him. Krishnamurti went through a number of significant spiritual awakenings in the 1920s, which are commonly known as the process. During these episodes, he experienced a strong feeling of energy flowing through his body and a heightened state of awareness. These mystical experiences were the catalyst for his transformation, which ultimately caused him to give up the position of world teacher. He announced that truth is a pathless land, claiming that no one can guide another person to enlightenment. He also dissolved the Order of the Star, the organization that was created to support his mission. This extreme action was the first step he took on his path to becoming an independent thinker and speaker. The concept of total freedom is the foundation of Krishnamurti's teachings. He believed that freedom was not just a physical or political state. It was also a mental state in which one was liberated from the conditioning of the mind. He thought that the patterns of thought that are influenced by social norms, religious beliefs, and past experiences keep people trapped in cycles of fear, desire, and conflict. In order to achieve true freedom, one must go beyond these mental limitations and reach a state of choiceless awareness, which is a perception of reality that is not influenced by thought or bias. Krishnamurti stressed that self-knowledge is the most important thing to have in order to change. He believed that self-understanding was the most important thing for breaking free from the illusions that hold us back. He believes that the self is not a fixed entity, but rather a construct that is shaped by memory, experience, and cultural conditioning. This construct is frequently a source of division, leading to conflict both within individuals and between communities. By closely observing and questioning the self, one can dissolve its boundaries and connect with the entirety of existence. Krishnamurti's views on relationships provide deep understanding of how people connect with one another. He noticed that relationships are frequently founded on dependence, fear, and desire, which can result in jealousy and possessiveness. He said that true love is not limited by these restrictions. It is a state of unity in which the self does not take precedence and individuals relate to one another without the distortion of ego or expectation. According to Krishnamurti, meditation is not a structured practice, it is a state of being. He placed greater importance on awareness and rejected traditional techniques and rituals. He believed that meditation was the uninterrupted observation of the mind and its movements without any judgment or effort. This method results in a deep stillness, which allows insight to emerge on its own. Krishnamurti also discussed the restrictions of thought. He believed that thought was an important tool for practical life, but that it was not enough to understand everything that exists. Because thought is based on memory and the past, it is inherently fragmented and cannot understand the entirety of reality. Krishnamurti suggested direct perception as an alternative. This is a way of seeing that goes beyond the filters of thought and shows the true nature of things as they are. His work with David Bohm, a well-known physicist, is an example of how science and spirituality can come together. The subjects that were discussed in their conversations included the nature of thought, the structure of reality, and the possibility of human transformation. Krishnamurti's idea of wholeness was in agreement with Bohm's idea of the implicate order, which proposes that everything is connected in some way. They work together to show that rational inquiry and spiritual insight are not in opposition to one another, but rather that they complement each other. Krishnamurti's teachings also included education, in which he supported a system that encourages the development of the entire person. He was critical of traditional education because it encouraged competition and rote learning, which he believed contributed to divisions in society and stifled creativity. He imagined an education that encourages self-awareness, inquiry, and a strong connection to life instead. To achieve this goal, he founded schools in India, the United States, and the United Kingdom, where his principles were incorporated into the curriculum. Krishnamurti believes that the transformation of society starts with the individual. He thought that changes in the outside world, whether they are political, economic, or technological, are not significant unless they are accompanied by a fundamental change in the way people think. He claimed that the underlying reasons for conflict in society are greed, fear, and the desire for power. A person can only help create a peaceful society by addressing these problems within themselves. Krishnamurti had an unusual way of looking at religion and spirituality. He did not accept organized religion because he thought it caused division and was based on dogma. He instead talked about a profound and personal religiosity, which is a feeling of sacredness and wonder that is not limited by beliefs or rituals. He believed that spirituality was not about following a system. It was about having a direct experience of the mystery of existence. His philosophy can be summed up by his statement that truth is a pathless land. He was saying that there is no single path, teacher, or doctrine that can lead to the truth. It has to be discovered on an individual basis through direct experience and inquiry. This viewpoint questions the conventional idea of spiritual authority and encourages people to pursue their own understanding. Krishnamurti's thoughts on freedom show how deep his thinking is. He made a distinction between freedom from and freedom for. The former is a reactionary state that is motivated by the desire to escape, while the latter is a proactive acceptance of the possibilities that life has to offer. He believes that true freedom is not simply the absence of restrictions. It also requires clarity, understanding, and harmony. He also taught about the concept of time. He noticed that a lot of human suffering comes from living in the past or the future and getting stuck in cycles of regret and anticipation. One can break free from this cycle and experience life to the fullest by fully inhabiting the present moment. This focus on the present aligns with his larger vision of a life that is free from the constraints of thought and self. Krishnamurti's legacy is significant and long-lasting. His life and teachings encourage us to examine the beliefs that influence our lives and to begin a journey of self-discovery. They remind us that transformation starts from within, and that true freedom is not found in external circumstances, but rather in the clarity of perception and understanding. Krishnamurti's message is a source of hope in a world that is characterized by division, conflict, and uncertainty. His vision of wholeness, interconnectedness, and inner liberation provides a way to achieve harmony and fulfillment. As humanity continues to grapple with the complexities of modern life, his timeless insights remain a source of inspiration and guidance.